back to This Delhi Life. We're talking about night riders, and it's not just the men who are passionate about their machines, it's women as well. We've got with us Soumya and Aman. Welcome to the show. Soumya, what is it like being a woman on a bike?
Like since childhood, I was very passionate about bikes. And as a female, like my father won't agree, like I get a bike for you. So I somehow persuaded my brother to get a bike. So finally, we purchased also 180cc, and it was like my bike.
So you persuaded your brother, but your father agreed for your brother?
Yes, the father agreed. But I have to take help of my brother.
And what about your mother? What does she feel?
My mother is very cool girl. Yeah. Very cool. I mean, she had no like any problem with me driving a bike.
So what did your father say when you snuck away with your brother's bike?
He was aware that it's my plan to get a bike because otherwise we would have not got a bike. Every time I have to borrow it from my friends or my brother's friend, since there was no bike in our house.
And you're from Bhopal.
Yes.
So, from Delhi is a metropolitan obviously, but in Bhopal, was it very different riding a bike than it is in Delhi?
Yes, it was. I mean, if I go with a bike on Bhopal roads, there were 1,000 people staring at you, and guys will try to chase you. I tell you an incident when I was driving on Marine Drive, Bhopal Marine Drive. There was one guy, like he was chasing me for a long time. Since I had a Pulsar, I had a race with him. I finally defeated him.
Yeah.
So he was like...
Did that feel good?
Yes.
It felt very good.
Very nice. Yeah. You get a very nice feeling.
What about you, Aman? What has the experience been like for you being a woman on a bike?
Being a woman on bike, like it's almost actually a fun to be. It's a pride, and it looks like you are the different one when you are driving on road and you're on bike. So when head turns towards you to have a glimpse of you and to see you, so they actually looks wow. And when especially when somebody passes to you by or cheers you up saying wow, then it looks wow, yes, you're driving nice, and somebody is liking that yes, you're on ride. So that's actually
what
good
bike do you ride?
I personally have a Caliber, but otherwise I do ride Pulsar. I have driven Enfield as well, but more of I'm a Caliber rider. Thus, I own that bike.
What's your dream bike, Soumya?
My dream bike is Enfield Thunderbird.
Oh well, we've got one more Enfield fan.
Really plan to get it in next 2 years down the line.
And do you think you can compete with the guy sitting here?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Guys,
anyone who dare to contradict her? No, the guys don't want to. So, do you think women are competent riders as well? The guys over here. How many of you feel that women are, audience poll, how many of you feel that women are competent riders, or as good as? Okay, a lot of riders here feel. That's good. Because sometimes when you drive a car, you don't get that opinion at all. Women drivers are considered, unfortunately, not that great. But when did you, sort of kind of figure that I want to do this? Is it like a feeling of freedom that you get?
Yes, definitely. See, I've been driving a two-wheeler since I was in class 5th. But bike was always a passion for me. So I started driving bike in 1998. So it was like I can't just tell in words what the experience I had driving a bike.
Yeah. I wanted to be a truck driver when I grew up, and there's trucks that don't have bodies, they're just the chassis. And the whole thought behind it was, just me out on the road driving this truck. Is that a motivation? I mean, I don't know. I had it. It could be strange.
I'm passionate about the people who drive open jeeps, and one of my senior here is a rider like open. He was having an open gypsy. He was like kind of motivation to me that I want to do that and have to be. So I told my parents that I want a bike for myself. They were against it. They were against for it for around 3 years. But then at last I got a bike for myself, and even not on the cost that my brother is going to drive that. It was on the cost that I will be driving it.
So you convinced your parents finally?
Yes, finally.
Who paid for it?
Of course, Papa.
Okay, your daddy finally convinced him. Some of you here said that, some feel that obviously women are good riders as well. But those of you who feel that women are not good riders, why do you feel that way?
Firstly, the women are not so courageous in compare of the men. So I think they may not be the better competitor as we compare the men and men. So they are not. It's a daring
There's
thing.
no competition about the passion, right?
Yes.
But it's also a daring thing. You
It's a
have to
daring game.
more
That's what
courage.
it's a passion.
See, I tell you one thing. I have many friends, and the highest speed I have touched on Pulsar is 120. And many of my friends don't dare to do that. So there's a difference. You can't say that females can't go do that.
No, I totally agree. Women can do whatever they put their mind to it. Arpita, but are there stereotypes that women riders have to face?
Well, I definitely think because, the whole concept of something like, bike riding is stereotypically associated with men. But I think one thing that is really, really important is to consider the whole issue about passion. When you're passionate about something, it doesn't matter what gender you belong to. And I think that with something like, bike riding, I'm not a bike rider myself, but, I can appreciate the fact that all that is required is a certain kind of an attitude towards doing that. And the fact that you are focused on a particular activity and you're passionate about it, I don't see any reason why somebody can't do that. And I think that a great sort of new phenomenon right now is the Chak De phenomenon, where it's very clear that it's nothing else. It's just an attitude that is required to get out there and to win. And I think that's quite clear in what we're talking about right now.
Absolutely. Shawar, the machines that are available in the market, are they difficult for women to handle, or are they geared towards women?
Well, the 100cc's and of course they're very light bikes. The only heavy bike you have is the Royal Enfield Bullet. Many girls who drive them, they take them up to Ladakh and all that, and they're members of all these clubs called Royal Based and all this Enfield clubs, but I don't think that will be too much of a problem. I mean, well, it looks heavy, yes, but once you ride it, it's the same.
It's fine.
This is not a problem. I don't think so.
And the women here don't seem to think so at all.
Not at all.
True.
So what's been your most memorable experience on a bike?
Mine was the day I drove at 120. That was the best experience I had in life. And it was around 11 at night on Marine Drive of Bhopal.
And it was awesome.
And I had a group of friends with me, and it was a memorable experience for me.
Yeah. And when you said you drove at night, do you feel comfortable driving at night being a woman?
I feel more comfortable driving at night.
Or you feel more comfortable driving?
Yes.
Why is that?
I don't know, I get some different kind of a more energetic person at night. So I am much comfortable driving at night compared to daytime.
To enjoy that. What about you,
The
Aman?
traffic also, is lesser at night, so it makes you more comfortable to drive. And my very good experience when I was driving was during the rain only. It was very heavy, and it was actually very tough. And all the bikers were stopping themselves at the bus stops or giving them in shelter and all that stuff. But I didn't stop anywhere, and that was actually like good. Okay, I'm not like them who want a shelter for. I was just driving, and I was just by my own. I was just driving on the speed of 20 because I couldn't drive because it was very heavy rain, and even the water was still the calf length this much. So it's
But you
actually, but still it
had
was
fun
very
doing that.
wow, wow.
Yeah, please.
I think one of the uniform things that we've talked about is the fact that how everyone tends to enjoy riding at night. And I think the essential component of that is that nighttime is what will allow these riders speed. And the whole concept behind all of this thrill is the speed. And even when we look at something like rain that you're talking about, Aman, I think it's essentially because it is a new circumstance. It in some way increases that bar a little bit, raises the risk a little bit, so the thrill that is associated with it is also a little bit more.
One thing I would like to add here is just not speed. We are a part of a group. We go out at night and we go in formations. It can be a 2x2 formation, or we are doing a wing or something of that sort. That is another thrill. All we have talked about is speed, speed, speed. I wanted to add this. It's formations. There are other parts of biking. It's just not speed.
Well, we're talking about bikes, the passion for riding, and men and women equally passionate about it. And we'll talk to some more riders after this.